So I'm going to change the videos up slightly, and I'm going to bring in kind of a QA element to it. And what I found over the last few months, that people are watching my videos and then I meet up with them, and they're citing all these examples of, well, I know such and such who's struggling with this, or maybe they're personally struggling with a relationship. And I realised that there's people may have specific questions that they want to ask me to talk about in these videos. So I'm going to create this, change the video slightly. They're called Ask Karl, and if you have a question, you ask me. And I'm going to give an example today, and this is a conversation I had a couple of weeks ago with somebody, and the person was telling me about a guy that she knows who's quite well to do. He's financially been quite successful, but he has a niece who keeps coming up and asking him for money. And at the start he didn't mind, but now he's realizing that she's kind of playing him a little bit. She just keeps coming up, but he struggles to say no to her. Maybe he feels guilt about it. Maybe he's afraid of the consequences, how people would react to him saying no to giving her money. But at the end of the day, he's not really doing her much of a service, because I'm sure when he was growing up, I wouldn't say people were throwing money at him. I'd say he had to work very hard to get where he is in life now. But by facilitating her, he's creating a codependence in her. The message that she's learning about life is that you don't need to work for your money. All you have to do is ask the nearest person, and you'll receive all the time. And he's not really helping her, and he's kind of setting her up for a tougher life later on. So I suppose if I was working with him, I'd really explore what he learned about love. Does love mean constantly giving to people, as opposed to just being around people and you are valued for who you are, not for what you do? What has he learned about conflict? Maybe he's afraid of the consequences around what might happen. Maybe he's had past experiences where someone was judgmental of him for not stepping in and helping out when he could have. Maybe there is guilt there. Maybe he feels guilty that maybe he was successful in relative to the rest of the family. Maybe he is better off than everybody else, and I see that a lot, where there is guilt, where I'm better off than everybody else, that financially or any other sense, and people do feel often bad about that. So the message, the working with him, it's very much about building a self-esteem, so he feels valued for who he is, not for what he does, not for his success in life or anything else, just the fact that he exists and this is who he is. And in that place, he can set stronger boundaries with his niece, and actually understand that by saying no to her, it may appear like tough love, and people sometimes don't understand what tough love is. Tough love is not being abusive, and tough love is not saying cruel things. Tough love is knowing that somebody may be struggling with something, but it's giving them space to fix it themselves. You're not creating more problems for them. You are supporting them in any way that you can, whether it's morally, whether it's emotionally, maybe it's just a bit of physical time, but you're not jumping in to fix their problems all the time for them. Tough love is knowing that someone is struggling and letting them fix it for themselves, but letting them know that they're not on their own, that you will support them if you can. In this case, she's well able to look after herself. She's old enough and capable enough to go out and have a job. She probably already does have a job, but that's where all her income should be coming from. She should be living her own life, not keep going back to the family looking for money or going to him. And it is about setting boundaries and being clear and very clear with his dialogue, but standing his ground, but also knowing why he's doing it. And it is very much, he's as much doing it for her as he is for him. It's very much teaching her the lessons of life, and that life is not about people are not going to be there to fix us all the time or help us all the time. We need to be able to help ourselves, and that's an important message that a lot of society across the board needs to learn, of all ages. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. It's Karl@toxicescape.com, or if you're the Facebook page, or if you see me out and about, because I bump into people all the time, I'll definitely put a video together and I'll talk about it. And obviously it's completely confidential. I don't share names or any details like that, but if I can help, I definitely will. Another mention of the webinar that's coming up at the end of the year. Please put your name down. I'll put a link up at the top of the video. Again, it's geared for people who just understand their relationships, what they need from it, what their partner needs from them, or friends or families or anybody, how to deal with conflict, how to deal with our emotions in conflict as well. So stress management is a big part of it. Building self-esteem, and again setting boundaries, and I think that's a huge problem today for a lot of my clients anyway, and just people I meet. They struggle to say no, and we need to develop that. It's not an overnight thing. It takes a lot of work to try and build up on our boundaries and our confidence in ourselves to say no to other people, but it's possible. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna head off. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.